Most of what I end up seeing, it manifests when the pendulum swings all the way in the other direction. So on this end, you've got what can be considered crippling insecurities and fears and so forth, the things that keep you up at night. But when you're willing to do the work and you kind of cross over that threshold and the pendulum swings in the other direction, then you have what I think is a trait that most people are looking to have, which is confidence, an unbridled and genuine confidence. And I was actually on Twitter a couple days ago having a nice dialogue with a few colleagues that I really respect and admire about confidence and where does confidence come from and how can we actually build it. I don't think there's a person on the planet that doesn't aspire to have a heightened sense of confidence, even if they're already confident in general. And it comes from things like our self-talk. How do we talk to ourselves? That's where, and that's especially where insecurity comes into play. If you're constantly in a negative or a critical frame of mind and you're constantly talking to yourself through that lens, you actually make the insecurity bigger and it becomes more crippling and like pulling a heavier sled when you can actually give yourself some grace and some compassion, acknowledge and be aware of the fact that you have this insecurity, but don't be embarrassed by it or have any guilt or shame. Those are other toxic emotions that when you start tacking guilt and shame and I'm not good enough on top of already an insecurity, now it becomes this massive mountain. Whereas if you take it and you can actually go in the other direction and say, yeah, I'm insecure about this. And let me do a little digging and research to figure out why. And let me start to be compassionate and have some grace with the way that I talk to myself and at least have an awareness of when I'm saying things to myself, whether silently or out loud, that aren't serving me, at least have an awareness of it so I can change that dialogue.